Hematite is known to be the stone of transformation, encouraging change and showing you what is blocking your spiritual growth. When you wear a bracelet made with hematite beads, you are sure you will get the benefits of this gemstone all day long. Today, we can bead together this bracelet using our hematite cube beads in a beautiful St. Petersburgh stitch. Keep watching to learn this stitch and make a bracelet for yourself in the process. For our beautiful bracelet made with hematite cubes, which is made in the St. Petersburgh stitch, we are going to use some hematite cubes, 11 O's, and our usual lobster clasp. As for the thread, as usual, Nymo thread and the beading needle. The structure of the bracelets is like this. We will start with the loop where we attach one side of the clasp. Then we will work half a side of the bracelet with St. Petersburgh stitch, and then we will continue the other side, connecting it to the main beads, the second side of the bracelet. At the end, when we have the needed length, we just attach the second part of the lobster clasp in a loop. Let's start with the first part where we are going to attach our lobster clasp. So we start with 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say about 6. Could be more, could be less. And we pick up the first part of the lobster clasp as well. And here is very important, we go back through the first seed bead we have added from the same direction. I mean, when I mean this, the idea is not to make a circle by going back like this, but to go back like that. Make sure that on the other side of the first seed bead we have both threads on that side, because here we are leaving a long tail and it will be used to work the second part of the bracelet. And with this thread where we have the needle on, we are going to use it just now for our stitch. So for our stitch we start with picking up 6 beads, and I will pick up 4 one color, 2 one color, just to let you know more clearly what we are doing here. We separate the last 2 and we go back up through the bead 3 and 4 from the needle in a circle. This is what I call the turn 2 beads. See? This will be left outside on the other side of this, will sit actually on the other side of the group of 4. Now we pick up 1 seed bead and go back through the 4 beads that were added, not through the ones, obviously, that make the turn. Okay. And now we need only one more step where we pick up the bead, the cube, go up through the turn beads, and here we have our first stitch, like that. Now we pick up 5 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last 2 are a different color, just to remind you that that is the turn. So skip 2, go back through the fourth and the third from the needle, and here you have the turn. Pick up 1 seed bead, go down 4, pick 1 seed bead, go down 4, pick up the cube and up the 2 beads that are the turn beads. And this is the sequence we repeat. Let's make another one together. Pick up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The turn 2, a seed bead, and go down the 4 on the long leg, pick up the cube and go up the turn 2. Maybe I should have blocked this before I started the St. Petersburgh stitch. So 5, prepare the turn 2, on 1 seed bead, go back down the 4 on the long leg, pick up the cube, go back up through the turn 2. And we continue like this until we have the length needed. When we get at the end, we just needle our thread on the other side of the tail. Now let's start the other side of the stitch by mirroring the stitch that we've already done. So we pick up 6 for the first step. Skip 2, go through the 4th and the 3rd, the seed bead that goes through the 4 on the long leg, and now we just connect with the existing bead. This will rotate a little maybe the work. And we pick up the existing bead and go back up the return 2 from this new side. And this is how we connect it. Pick up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make the turn 2. Now the seed bead on top of the 4 from the long leg. And now we connect with the bead from the other side. Connect with the bead and go back up through the turn 2. And we just continue. Pick up 5. Turn 2. The seed bead on top of the long leg, on top of those 4 beads, and then connect with the next bead and go back up through the turn 2. I think I should have given myself a longer tail here than the one I have. Okay. So here is how we connect and make the other side. We continue until we complete the other side equal to the first one. And then I will come back and we attach the second side of our clasp. When we have the length we need and all is connected, we finish off by adding the second side of the clasp, mirroring what we've done on the other side. So we pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and the clasp. We close this circle by going up like this through the first seed bead, and then down we connect it with the other two, turn two. Okay. And we make sure that this is nicely in the middle, just like this. And now we reinforce by going down and then back up, using the same thread paths that we already have. When we are happy, we make sure we weave in the threads and make all secure. The stitch itself is very easy, it's very fast, but obviously you need to make sure you kind of work more on the mat, or you have to hold all the work in your hands to control it a little. You will find your own way. This is something that you have to experiment with. So this is how it looks like, and here you can play with the colors, you can play with the sizes. The only thing that is quite important is that the size of two beads, which are the beads here, are more or less equal with the size of the bead that you are going to use for the turn, if you want your work to lay flat. I think if you are pushing it into a larger size, so the bead bigger than a cluster of two, then you will get a more 3D work. For sure it won't be flat. Thank you for watching. I hope you like this beautiful bracelet. Very nice, very pleasant, and very powerful as well, depending on the beads you decide to use. Thank you for watching. Ciao, ciao.